What is up, guys? We have got a jam-packed episode 4 for you. We missed last week because of Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great week with their families. But speaking of Thanksgiving, we're going to be talking about that here in a minute, as well as a look ahead at Christmas, because as you see here in front of us, it's Christmas time now. It's officially December, so it's Christmas time. After that, we've got a lot of discussion. We're going to talk about a high school basketball fight that went viral. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got a very weird call from a high school group of basketball players. We're going to talk about that, as well as some NBA, and we're going to close it off with Would You Rather. But for now, we're going to send it to the intro, and we will be right back. All right, so Thanksgiving just ended, Trey, and the big question on everybody's mind: How was Thanksgiving? How was getting to see
Thanksgiving
the
was good.
fam?
Thanksgiving was great. We had a team Thanksgiving meal where everybody's families kind of got to get together with the team and celebrate. The food was really good. Um, my personal favorite is the sweet potato casserole. I don't know if that's
I'm not a big sweet potato guy, man. That's the only
wow.
thing
Well, it's
at
like a
the Thanksgiving
dessert.
table.
It's like a dessert for me. Sweet potato casserole
Yeah,
is so good to me.
and sweet potato casserole can be good to me. I feel like it has to be made perfectly. Because like I feel like I try sweet potato casserole sometimes, and I'm just like, oh, that's really good, or I try it and I'm like, that's not that good.
Okay, that's
It's
fair.
not.
Well, obviously, you've never had my grandparents' sweet potato casserole.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
yeah,
I've got to
yeah.
try it. That's what it is.
It's a Kaufman Run special. But so yeah,
Absolutely.
I actually think for me, the meat is the worst part of Thanksgiving.
No,
For sure, for sure. The sides are so much
no.
better for me. The stuffing is so good.
Stuffing is
Um,
good. Stuffing's
stuffing's
good.
stuffing's good. The sweet
Stuffing's
potato
good.
casserole is
Okay.
good.
All right. Stuffing's good. We'll take that one.
All the sides are good. Mac and cheese, like you can't ask for anything else.
I don't
So
remember who it
that's
was.
my
There was an
favorite.
NFL player, and it's skipping my mind right now. Said that mac and cheese was overrated and shouldn't be on the dinner table at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well,
What?
that guy's no longer in the NFL actually. So
What?
yeah, yeah.
He
I
is.
actually
He's
fired
since
him.
departed. Oh, you fired him. Okay.
Yeah,
My
personally.
the sweet. Like I said, sweet potato casserole, all that stuff. It's if it's cooked right for me, it's good. But the one thing that I've never liked at Thanksgiving, and
Oh,
it's
here
just
we
like
go. You sent me a text about this. This was
so
good.
many people love this, and I just don't get it. Cranberry sauce. It is disgusting. It is
I
not
don't.
good.
I haven't tried it either, man. And I
It's just
just, I
it's
think I've
red
tried it sometime,
mush.
but yeah, yeah. I don't
It's
know what the big hoot and
chunky.
holler about that is either. But
Yeah, chunky
I'm
red mush. It just doesn't like I don't like. Oh, you got cranberry sauce. Hold on, run over and get some. Like that just doesn't happen to me. I don't know what it is. And it's like people always argue. They're like, oh, do you like it in the can or out of a box? I'm like neither. It's horrible. It's like it's not
neither.
good.
That's right. Yeah,
See,
not
and
at all.
I like cranberries. Like I like cranberry juice. All that stuff is good. But it's just like cranberry sauce. I don't know. I don't know if it's a texture thing. Because I mean, it tastes. It's okay.
So
It's not bad. It's still a
but you
fruit
like you like the
jelly kind of
meat.
thing.
You like the meat of Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Like
man.
that's
A good
that's
a
the
good a
main.
good
That's the
turkey or
main. That's the
yeah.
main part of Thanksgiving for you. No
It's
shot for
turkey day,
me,
man. It's turkey day.
dude.
Come
For
on.
me, it's like the sides on my plate are just as big as the meat portion for sure. I mean, you got a lot of sweet potato casserole in there. You got a lot of mac and cheese, a lot of stuffing,
Right.
and then you have meat as like your last. Like, I
My
guess
dad,
since it's Thanksgiving, I have to get some meat. Like,
my dad is an awesome cook. Like seriously good cook. And he always does Thanksgiving incredibly every year. Like he's really good at cooking, but this year he forgot to cook mac and cheese. So we all let him have it. We were all just messing with him and stuff and because mac and cheese is so good. So I missed out on the mac and cheese this year. I did. I'm not gonna lie about it. But you know what? I've had plenty since to make up for it.
is
So
Kraft mac and cheese mac and cheese?
I don't. Wait, wait. Explain the reasoning behind. I gotta understand what you're asking here.
Like, I don't consider Kraft mac and cheese mac and cheese.
Oh,
I
because
don't
is it
think
because it's a
it's
powder?
no, because it's just not like mac and cheese level. Like, I feel like it's a separate being. That's
Oh
like
no, dude,
such a
it's so good.
disgrace. You like
You don't like
Kraft?
it? I
You
love
like
Kraft.
Kraft?
I love
Kraft is
Kraft.
so bad. Kraft is bad. So for
Kraft is my favorite, dude.
dude, for everybody that's in the comments saying that Wyatt and I agree on everything, we don't for sure. Kraft is
Thanksgiving,
horrible.
we do not
Unless
agree.
they're a sponsor. Kraft sponsor us, and
Yes,
we
and that
we
said
yeah.
that then it's the greatest
Kraft's actually
mac and
great
cheese ever.
if you
Yeah,
sponsor
it
me,
is.
but otherwise it
Sure,
sucks, and like I would
right.
never recommend it.
So you want Velveeta to come sponsor? What's your mac and cheese? Is it Velveeta?
I mean, that's just the cheese, right? I mean, Kraft has their own like the Kraft Solo, like the mac and cheese cups.
Oh, I don't get the cups. I get like the boxes of Kraft.
Oh, that doesn't. Come on now. We're not talking about. We're talking about the noodles that they have and the pound. Like that's trash. If you
Oh yeah,
no,
that's not that good. I mean, if I was
yeah,
like really, if
that's
I'm
not
really
good.
hungry, it's good. But like,
No,
I
if
get what
I'm
you're saying.
really
I didn't know you were talking
hungry,
about the cups.
dude, Kraft. If I'm really hungry, I'm eating the plastic container and throwing away the mac and cheese. Like that's how bad it is.
Oh
Um,
my
but yeah, Thanksgiving was good this year. It's a
god.
I don't want to be super negative in this podcast, but I think it's a terrible holiday.
Why?
Like we just commit genocide on an entire group of people and then celebrate it. Like that just seems like a really bad idea. And it's kind of America 101 too. I mean, I don't
Right.
want to,
It's right, and
again, I
it's
don't
like
want to start this episode off like in a
right.
down mood
We're
or
getting controversial, down and
we're
dirty
getting
from the start. You know.
controversial from the start, but personally, I just, I I don't appreciate that aspect. Now, if you want to say, it's great giving thanks to your family and
Sure.
appreciating everybody, that's
The
great. That's really the
message
thing that
behind
matters.
it is what
The
matters.
message behind
Okay.
it, yeah, is what matters. But like, it's such a dumb, like, horrible holiday, in my opinion.
It gives me a 5-day weekend every year, man. So I'm not gonna complain.
That is
I'm
true.
perfectly
And then
I'm
Black Friday
perfectly
is
cool with
really
it,
good as well. So
dude. People down here go nuts for like in Indiana they go nuts, but like so my grandma worked as a police officer for like 25 years. So she worked for the final like last like 10 years she's been working as a dispatcher. So and she would work the night shift. So I used to go in to the station at night and sleep and stuff. And then at 4 in the morning when she got off, we would go right then when all the stores were opening Black Friday shop. And like people are crazy and everything, but like we went down here because my family came down here for Thanksgiving, and it took us an hour to park. It took us a
yeah,
whole hour to park.
if
Then
you
we just ended
haven't,
up getting valet.
yeah, if you don't wait up at night, like you really haven't been Black Friday shopping. Now, to me, the
Right.
tech that has killed it. They have these online deals. No, it's like get in your car and go to the
Go out and
store
get it.
at midnight. Yes, it's so much fun. Like I remember, especially when the Hunger Games series was still coming out. My grandparents and I, we would watch that because that came out like on was it Black Friday or the day before, day after? I don't remember what it
Something
was,
like
but we
that.
made we
Something like
made a
that.
weekend out of it. And I remember I had these PlayStation video games I wanted to buy, and so if we couldn't like get them in time, or like the day before they were going to go on sale, what we would do is we'd ask for one of the games and we'd hide it. And so like the next day, because what happens is all those games sell out, right? Because they're on
Right.
sale at the store. So we would just hide it in one of the sections. And then so we were able to come back and get it. That's just the
That is
next
a
piece of
oh my
advice.
gosh.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
cheating. You are a
Yeah,
cheater. You
I'm
cannot
cheating.
do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I basically stole it. Like
It's basically
basically
stolen.
stole it. Like yeah,
Did she
it's
actually
stolen.
pay for it, or did you guys just walk out with it? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we actually just walked out of it with all of our.
Just-
We actually just walked out with the TV too, like everything. But
Nobody
no,
asked
yeah,
a
we
single
we
question.
none, nobody. They're all too busy getting trampled by the other Black Friday shoppers.
Right. So
Um,
where do you hide it? Like, just give me an idea, because I would be nervous that I would put it
by
somewhere
the
where
by
something
the
else.
toiletries, by like the toothpaste. Like if you buy it, listen, if you stock up on toothpaste on Black Friday, like you're a different breed. Okay, you're a
You are a
menace.
different
You
breed.
are a
Extreme
menace.
couponers are a different
Yeah,
breed.
extreme. You are an animal. So that's where we hit all of our stuff because the person that buys toothpaste on Black Friday is not buying Far Cry 4
Not
or the
buying
other
Far
video
Cry.
games. Yeah, or the other
No,
video games
probably
that he
not.
was buying. So yeah, that's for
Have you
sure.
ever like went there to get it and it was gone?
No, no,
It's always worked every single
it's
time.
worked every time.
Dude, oh my, I gotta start trying this. I never even thought of that. That is a
Well,
brilliant, and
now
I
it's all
mean
online,
brilliant
so
idea.
dude, there's some. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
true.
that's what you get when you come to the On the Court in the Booth podcast. You get these free like
You get ways to
slices of
cheat. That's what
advice.
we tell you. We tell you
You
ways to
cheat the
cheat the
system.
system.
Cheat the system. Okay. Don't blame the player. Blame the game. Cheat the game. That's our advice here at On the Court
We've
in the
got
Booth
our
podcast.
we got our quote for the day. What was that? Don't what?
What?
Don't
What?
cheat the player, cheat the game. What? Isn't it don't hate
No.
the player, hate the game, cheat the what did you say? What am I putting down right now? Don't cheat. I don't even know what to put. I missed it. It went like it flew right by.
It was too great.
I was like, what did he
Are we doing a
just
quote
say?
already? Like this is great.
I missed it.
You've
I
never
missed
heard that
it.
before?
So no, I've heard don't
Don't
hate the
blame.
player,
Yeah.
don't hate the game, or hate the
No,
play.
I
Don't
think
hate
it's
the
don't
player, hate
blame
the
the player,
game.
blame the game. I think is that right? Hold on, am I wrong about that?
No, it's
Don't blame
don't
the player.
hate the player, hate the game.
Uh, don't.
You said don't hate the game, hate the player. Something like
No, 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 no,
that.
no. Don't blame the player. Blame the game. Yeah. Don't blame the player. Yeah, that's right.
I thought it was don't hate the
It's
player, hate
don't
the.
hate the player, hate the game.
It is. I told
Wow.
you it was.
Wow. So yeah. So I said don't blame the player.
Here we
Blame
go.
the
Don't.
game.
Here we go. We're getting this
Was that
together now.
something?
Don't
I don't remember.
blame the
What did
player.
Michael Scott say? He said something along the lines of sometimes he just talks and then figures out how he's going to finish it afterwards. That's how I feel like on the court in the booth podcast.
That's what it is. Here we
It's
go.
all
Boom.
on don't blame the player, blame the game, cheat the game, and that's what we do here at the On the Court in the Booth podcast.
Cheat the game.
So we have at least one quote of the day. Wow, that's yeah,
Don't blame the player, blame the game, cheat the game.
yeah, cheat the game. That's our
Oh my
advice.
gosh.
Yeah.
This is our life advice right here. Oh gosh. That was funny. That was funny. Okay, so
All right.
as you see,
What's the next segment here?
we got to get back on topic here. We're
Yeah.
flying way off the rails.
Yeah.
If you look around, you see Christmas stuff everywhere in front of us because it's Christmas time, okay? We got the tree up now. Okay, if you see, we strung lights around the apartment. We just we brought the little 4M strips and put them on the wall and just like there's little hooks. So we just wrapped them around. And if you look, it's like we've got them around the entire apartment here behind us, just thrown up there. So that is our Christmas decoration for the year. Did you decorate your apartment at all?
What am I thinking about? Like, did you know? I don't know why it made me think of this. Where I figured out it was a while back, but so I was thinking about how like the lights do you have are they like the bulb ones or the ones where you can change the colors?
They're the bulbs.
Well, they're bulbs, so it's different. But like you know how some people have the ones where you can switch colors,
Like
and
the
so
LED
like
strips.
yeah, the LED strips. Like that's a big thing, or whatever. Well, like I remember like some places they have LED strips in the bathroom, and they're purple, right? And so the purpose of that is if you're like junkie or whatever, and you like you can't see your
Sure.
veins. Did you know that? Like
Say it again.
if it's the purple tint. Like, have you ever been in the restroom and you had the purple hue to the light?
I've been in one that was blue one time.
Yeah,
If
I
that
think that's what it's for. I'm almost positive that's
and
what
it's
it's
and it's
for.
for what?
It's for like if you're trying to like stick a needle in your arm, you can't see the vein. Like so, it's not going to let you. Yeah,
So it's for preventing people from going in the bathroom and like, you know, I guess using a needle for drugs or whatever drug they may be using.
yeah,
That's what it's for?
yes. I'm almost positive.
Huh.
Now, don't quote me on that. That could be another giant quote here, a
I'm
giant
almost
meme.
positive. Don't
I'm
quote me on
almost
that.
yeah, I'm almost positive. Don't quote me on that.
We've got our second quote of the day. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, yeah. But going on Christmas and away from Thanksgiving, unlike Thanksgiving, if you hate Christmas, you are an evil person.
You are a monster, a
You are a
genuine
you are a
monster.
monster. You buy toothpaste on Black Friday.
You do, apparently.
Um,
Apparently.
and so what are your Christmas plans this year, Wyatt?
Home. I am coming home. I can't even explain to you how excited I am. I fly in like 2.5 weeks and I am like counting down the minutes, dude. Like I am antsy. I cannot literally, like when I tell you I cannot wait and it is all I think about all the time. Genuinely, it is all I think about all the time. Like I am so excited to get to come home and just like see the place again. Like just look. Like I've missed looking at the place, like just seeing all the stuff around. So Florida is awesome and everything, but it's just like home is so much different. And we've talked about this a lot on this show. And I kind of falls in the same thing. So I'm coming home for Christmas and I cannot wait. We're of course coming home having I'm having a me and Nikki mom's throwing like a little get together on the I think it's the 22nd. Yeah, 22nd for me and Nikki and we're coming home and everybody's gonna come over the house and stuff, which of course you're more than invited. You're more than welcome to come as well. Um but yeah, I think that's pretty much other than that. My mom's birthday is the 23rd. So when I'm home, pretty much that's what we're doing. Going to mom's birthday, we've got that little party, and then of course on the 25th we've got Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So excited,
interesting
man.
having a 23rd birthday, like that being close to Christmas. I bet that's a whole interesting like topic. Like I wonder if she likes it or if she doesn't like it. Does she ever talk to you about that?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about a lot, and uh, my grandma's done a lot to always make sure that she never, to always make sure that she felt like the two were separated. But I've talked to mom a lot, and she's always said like there's a lot of people who combine them, and like as a kid that would suck because every other kid gets a birthday and Christmas where people would be like, hey, here's your birthday / Christmas present. You know what I mean? So I'm. I don't really think she minds now. I think she's kind of, it's I don't know. I honestly I don't know my mom's age. After she turned 29, I just said she was 29 from then on. Um, but I think she's in her 30s now, late 30s, and she, yeah, I don't think she really cares now. But I know when she was a kid, it seems like from having conversations with her, it seems like it kind of bothered her sometimes. But at the same time, like I said, my grandma always tried to make sure that the two were separated, so she at least had that. So
Yeah, yeah. That's good. How are my mic levels? Can you hear me okay?
yeah, you sound good.
Oh, awesome, awesome. I was just looking at the
Live on air mic chicks. Yes.
yeah, yes. I was just looking at my bar here. You know how it is. Um, but yeah, no, that's obviously that's an interesting perspective. I had a
What are you doing for
my
Christmas?
grandpa has a birthday on like the was it February 20, I forget what the date is. Like what's the date that comes like every 4 years?
It's leap year. It's
29th.
February 29th.
Yeah, February 29th.
Really? Your grandpa was born on February 29th?
Yeah, so he's really like, I don't know how old he is, like 20 something.
Which
Because
grandpa?
his birthday is only it's on my dad's side.
Okay.
Um but yeah, so really like
He's like 20.
he's like 20 something because, his birthday doesn't like it's never on the day. Um so I always thought that was kind of an interesting
Yeah.
ordeal there. What do you
That
think
would
your
that would
what do you
go
think
ahead.
your Christmas topic is? Like or not topic, sorry, tradition, like your family's best Christmas tradition.
We've got two big ones. So the night before, and this is kind of an everybody does this. Like the night before Christmas, we read the night before Christmas before we all split up and go to bed and stuff. My family has had a tradition for as long as I can remember where we wake up at 4 in the morning and open presents. I don't know why. I don't know how it started, but it's like my favorite thing. So every year, either me or Leroy stays up till 4 and then wakes everybody up. So last year it was me. So this year I get to actually sleep on Christmas. And Leroy is going to wake us up at 4 and then we open our presents at 4 and then
Are you allowed to stay up till 4?
no. I have to do it secretly.
Wow. So how does
I'm
Santa
a
get in?
rebel. Huh?
How does Santa get in?
Well, he's just really quiet. I've never noticed, and I don't go downstairs to check or anything. So it's like because if you were to walk down there and he doesn't come, then you don't get the presents. It just kind of spoils it. So you sacrifice the seeing him part of it for just staying in your room and hanging out. So,
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
so what are you? I assume you're probably coming home for Christmas this year as well, right?
I actually have to check that. I don't know if we play or we have practice on those days yet.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, because this isn't football season. Yeah, you guys will probably play through it. Jeez, I didn't even think about that.
I
I
think
don't
we have a
know if
couple. I do think we have a couple days off though, so hopefully we do get a couple
yeah,
days off. I'm trying to
I
think.
don't.
What are you
I
gonna say?
think the NBA is the only league that plays on Christmas, unless if Christmas falls on a Sunday, then the NFL will play on it. But I want to say that the NBA, I don't think the NCAA plays on Christmas Day. Now I'm sure they probably play up till probably the 23rd, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I'm sure they probably play on the 26th as well. So, but I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever remember a college basketball Christmas game. Do you?
Oh no, no, no. I don't think we play on that day, but I think we play, like you said, around
Right.
that day. So I'm hoping,
See,
hopefully we
what would
have Christmas
suck
Eve, Christmas Day off. Um,
what would suck
a
is
couple
if,
days.
and I don't have your whole schedule in front of me, so I'm just making this up right now. If you guys had to play like Washington on the 23rd, like, and fly out there and then spend the whole day the 24th coming back and then driving home, and then on the 25th
Yeah,
you get home on the night of the 24th. That would suck. But
that would really stink.
like I said, I don't think, yeah, I don't have your whole schedule in front of me, so I don't think that's the case. But also I don't want to say it's not and then it ends
How
up
we
being.
doing on
But
time here, Wyatt? We all
we're doing
right?
good. Yeah.
We're doing great. Okay. No, because I want to go into more. I'm trying to think of my like family traditions for Christmas. Like my family tradition, I know at one of my grandparents' house, Santa comes into our house, into our homes. This is before Christmas. He actually comes into our house.
No way.
And let's just say that like, when I turned 18, I thought that I wouldn't have to sit on Santa's lap anymore, and that's not the case. So it's not the case. Like
Dude,
my
if you
family,
have a picture of your 6'10"
yes.
self sitting on Santa's lap, I will pay. I will pay top dollar. Can you even see Santa?
Oh, listen,
You have to be blocking the guy.
Well, Santa has had plenty of experiences with people on his lap. So he's fine. He's
Sounds
fine
so
on
bad. Sounds
yeah,
so bad.
yeah, yeah.
It's
But like
like, oh God.
Santa is fine. But it is an awkward kind of experience with Santa Claus. Like,
Does he
I
ask you
love the
what you
guy.
want?
I respect the guy. Yeah, he's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I don't know what I say.
What are you going to tell him this year? What do you want for Christmas?
Dude, I don't know. I
See,
want
now that I'm
to
getting older, I'm the
solve
same
world
way. I
hunger.
just,
That's what I always.
well,
That's what I try to tell him.
that's a good one.
Yeah, solve world hunger. You know, just very, very. What is the word I'm trying to look for? Very big problems that only somebody like Santa Claus could really solve. The cure
Right.
for cancer,
Sure.
the cure for COVID, um, things like that. So even
Absolutely.
better vaccine, an even better booster
And
than we
even
already have,
better,
an even
even
better one.
better. One that just like completely ends COVID. How about that one?
Yeah, think
Because
so.
I'll tell you right now, if you find a vaccination that you can stick in me that ends COVID, I'll let you use me as a dartboard for that thing. Trying to.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and we talked about quotes of the day. Is that not a quote of the day? I'll let you use me as a
Yes,
dartboard for that
I'll
thing.
let you use me as a dartboard for that thing.
Wow. Wow. How many
It's true
contexts
though,
would that be
man.
used in?
How many? Right.
Um, yeah. And so like I can picture it in my head because I have, I'm the oldest of the cousins. And so all of the other cousins, Brooklyn, she's in high school now, which is crazy. Um, but
It's
like
starting to
all
freak
of
me out
them,
too, stuff like that.
yeah.
Like you just see all these people who
Or
like
maybe she's in.
feels like
Hold
last year
on,
they were in elementary school, now they're in high school.
maybe in
Like
eighth grade. I think she's in eighth grade. Sorry.
still close enough, 1 year
Bryce
away.
isn't Bryce is in high school, and like obviously these are my cousins, but like, and so like I can just hear them chanting Trey, 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 Trey when Santa comes in. So yeah,
And they
that's
make
one of
you
my
just
family
do
members.
just you have to sit on his lap, or does everybody else?
Um, no, I mean everybody else does too, but I'm part of
Okay.
the. He brings in. I think he actually gets me. He actually gets me a gift while I'm on his lap too. Like
Wow. Is it a
so,
candy
like he
cane?
knows. Like I've even told him what I wanted because he's asked me what I want, and he somehow
Right.
already knows like what I want.
Oh,
So
it's already there.
yeah, uh,
Like, hey, Santa, I want $100. He just pulls out a solid
Santa
Benjamin and just hands
Claus
it to you.
is he's actually a mind reader as well.
Really? Well,
So
you know who looks like Santa Claus?
yes, Wyatt
Here I
Williams.
am, just minding my business, putting together the rundown for the show, and I hear Trey laughing, and he's like, "Hey, look up." And I look up, and this is on my screen, and I'm like,
Yes.
"How did we get here? Like, what happened?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's, look how long my hair is on the sides in that. Now that I've got a haircut, look at this.
Oh yes, Wyatt eventually got a haircut. We actually recognize him now. Wow.
Looks
Wow, Wyatt Williams.
It's I got I got a little hat head going on over here. If you see, it's a little pushed up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
hey, peep the Dave Sockel hat here.
Dave Sockel.
Dave
Dave
Sockel,
Sockel.
my
Dave
guy.
Sockel. Not to be confused with Dave Chappelle because they're
Not
just
to.
as funny.
They
Like,
they are
but in two separate
genuinely
ways. In
very
two
separate,
very different and separate ways.
extremely separate.
Extremely separate
like
ways.
could not be more North South Pole separate.
Yeah.
on-
But both people are my guys, though. I mean, what can I say? I mean, sometimes you
oh,
hear the things that Dave Sockel says, and you just think to yourself, "Man, I am happy with my life."
I love it.
Yeah,
He's awesome, man. He's hilarious. But that is our intro, man. We've talked some Thanksgiving, we've talked some Christmas. We're gonna dive into some discussion when we come back. And like I said, we're leading off with that high school basketball story, which is a very, very interesting story. So we'll be back in 1 minute, and yeah, be there.
how
And
calming
we
is that
are
music?
back. Do what?
How calming is that music?
I sleep to that music.
I sleep
Totally
to
just
that
kidding.
music.
Totally just kidding.
That's another
Um,
quote.
there we go.
Wow.
I'm tossing them out today, man. I am. I we
These are
don't
free.
have one
These are free, by
yet.
the way.
The completely free. Completely
Yeah.
free. All this.
If it's free, it's free.
Every quote that comes out of our mouth, it's free. It's 100% free. That's why you've got to be here for the On the Court in the Booth podcast. You got to tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, your non-coworkers, your
Your
neighbors,
loved ones,
your loved ones,
your hated
your
ones,
pets, your hated ones, your enemies, your
your
sidekicks,
your enemies. Yeah.
whatever you want to tell. You've got to tell. They got to be here, man. You can't miss this. I mean, it's like it's too epic. There's too much stuff going on at once. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna dive into some discussion here, and we talked about it earlier a little bit, but we're of course gonna dive in now. You, sir, are a basketball player and have participated in these handshakes. I mean, of course, if my incredible, 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" physique, I played basketball at one point as well, but didn't amount to quite what you've done so far. So what, and we can't, for copyright reasons as of right now, we can't play the video, but you can look it up. Iowa high school basketball fight. It's on national news. What is your reaction to the situation? Just give me the whole 9 yards. What you're thinking? What's your brain saying when watching this video?
Right. So first off, I didn't know again because I live what you call under a rock. Um, so I'm at Cheddar's with my teammates, and obviously why he sends me down the kind of the rundown of the show. And so he talks about this fight. I'm like, oh, I didn't, and then I end up asking them about it. He's like, yeah, you should go see it. And so I watched the video, and it's only the very end, at least the video that I saw. And so I don't know if they have some build up during the game,
Yeah,
or
you only see the post game, the handshake. You don't see,
only see the post
which
game handshake.
apparently, from what I've read, and this could be wrong, but this is what I've read so far. Apparently, there wasn't really any chippiness in the game. That's why, like people didn't know this was coming. That's why it's also so surprising. There we go, that's English for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's also so surprising too, was because there wasn't really any chippiness leading up to it. But sorry, I mean, cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. And being a I guess a college basketball player, and going through basketball's it's a big part of my life, and so like I know I've been in a lot of games where like whether it be AAU, school ball, or normally you see this in kind of like an AAU setting, or something like that, but and I like I said I've had my fair share of like you know like I've been in games where the fans have been ejected from the games, like people have been ejected, like coaches, like fights on the court, like bloody
Well, I
faces,
know your
like
final regular season game in high school was wild. I finally get a Friday night off, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to drive to Seymour and watch Trey play. And it was just chaos the entire time. I mean, you had to
yeah.
leave at one point of the game because you had
There's
blood on your
sometimes where it's
jersey,
like,
right?
what's going on? Like,
Right. What is
like there's
happening right
sometimes
now?
what is going on? Like you think we're
Yeah.
playing basketball, and it's like it's not even
It's like
it's not
murder
even
ball
football
out
or
there.
rugby. Like it's like what's going on?
Why are you punching me?
Why? Yeah, it's not boxing. It's basketball. Like that's what I signed up for. That's what I want to play.
Right.
And so, but normally those things are, I don't even want to say part of the game, but let's just say I've had my fair share of experiences with these. I don't know this. I don't know the situation. I don't know this kid or whatsoever. Um, and like as a high schooler, like you're not as like you don't judge a person by what they do in high school. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like everybody makes mistakes. Um, and in this situation, obviously the kid made a mistake, and so I kind of feel bad for him, and I feel bad.
He got
Obviously, the guy
arrested
that got
today. Did you
punched.
see that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got like, you know, read a little bit of story on it, and it's just kind of a sad event for me. That's what I kind of feel about. I don't like making any hasty judgments towards the kid or
Sure.
towards like any of those things, just because like everybody makes mistakes in their life. I'm
Right. And
sure.
I'm not at all defending either side of this party because I have honestly I don't know what happened. I'm just watching from the outside of a video and what other people are saying happened. So you also don't know what was said before. You know what I mean? You don't know what was said on the court. You don't know what happened. And like I said, not saying that it was okay for him to punch him, not saying that, not siding with either side of this. I'm, completely on the outside here. But you don't know. You don't know the context. You don't know what was said.
No.
You don't know how it was said. You don't know when it was said. You know, so that was it was just such an odd situation because Nikki's brother Bryce was the one who sent it to me, and I start the video and I'm looking at it. And I'm like, it's just a post game handshake. Why do you send me this video? And then it just like chaos ensues after that. And
Yeah.
it's just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I don't know what was said. I don't know what all went on with it. I just thought it was like the wildest situation I've ever seen. And then, like I said, the kid gets arrested today. So, like, clearly this isn't over. I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of, I'm sure this is going to go much farther than what we've seen.
Right.
Um,
Right. And keep in
but yeah,
mind,
I
guys,
just
we're not defending the kid either. I mean, I definitely think he made a wrong decision here.
sure, you shouldn't just
And
draw off and punch someone in the face. Sure,
right, of course. But I will say, on a separate note, like we see the thing that happened with LeBron recently,
that
and
was
it's two
crazy.
different situations because, in my opinion, the LeBron situation was an accident. In my opinion,
Wait, are you talking about the
and
Pacers fans yelling at him or what?
no, that's another one.
Oh no!
That's another
I
one. I'm
I
talking about
am
the free
I
throw
am
line one.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I
But
just had like the
The
most
Pacer fan one
huge.
too. That's another good one because it's
No,
like
see that excuse my language when I
the
say this. That
reports
prick
of
should have been thrown out.
yeah, but yes, the reports of what she said, like that crosses the line, and that's what I'm saying. You really don't know
Infinite
the
amounts of
you
lines.
don't know right. You don't know the context of things. Um, but no, I'm talking about the free throw run one. And if you're
Yeah,
not familiar,
with the big fight.
basically,
Yeah,
yeah, with the big fight, the guy was boxing LeBron out, and I'm assuming LeBron felt like it was an overly aggressive box out, and so he went back and tried to shove him backwards. And if you play basketball, like to a lot of fans that haven't played basketball before and haven't played, obviously you haven't played the NBA level, but you haven't even played like high school or college, like you haven't played any of those levels, like you don't understand the intensity of the moment, the physicality of the game. And like I can't even understand the physicality of the game because like I'm not at the NBA level. So I can't imagine what it is there.
right.
But if you play basketball, you understand that like he like it wasn't a like if he wouldn't have drawn blood, that situation would have not gotten out of hand like it did.
Well,
Like
and the other thing,
people made way more of or such a bigger deal out of it than it really was, in my opinion.
yeah,
And it's because then the guy started, you know, I would say kind of not overreacting, but yeah, I
I
would
would
say a
call it
little
over. I
bit
would call it
like
overreacting.
okay, we'll
I
go
would
ahead
call
and
that
do it. Well, yeah,
overreacting.
it was
Yeah,
overreacting. The fight, then like people are holding him back, then he's breaking through, people trying to tackle him and like
right. And his own
all that
teammates are
drama
like, "Dude,
afterwards. Like
chill out."
that made it so much more than it really was. Because
Right,
in basketball, like there's so many times when I'm playing basketball, somebody's being too physical, and it's like, no, I'm gonna push you back. You know what I mean?
right.
Like you have to you almost have to do that in basketball to protect yourself and to like embrace the physicality of the game. And the
Sure,
reason I bring this up is because again, it's a context thing. What this kid that we're the what we're talking about and the handshake line after the game, that's a completely different situation. I don't think anything really calls for that. Um, Something like that.
that kind of reaction. Right.
And it was definitely like it was on purpose, obviously. Um, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying, like, you don't know with these viral videos that get sent out, like, you don't know the whole context of the situation. So it's like you can't judge them from what happened when you don't know what happened. A 5-second clip
yeah,
of, what somebody was recording.
right. And kind of bouncing off what you're saying about LeBron, you know, if you look, LeBron never even glances over at him. So, like, how is he going to accurately hit him directly in the eye and try and cut his eye open and stuff? Like, the elbow came back, yes, and you can see that LeBron is throwing that elbow back. But like you said, he's embracing the physicality of the game. But it was a complete accident. Like, if LeBron would have turned around and looked him in the face and then just absolutely waylaid him with an elbow, then yeah, I mean that's a you should do that. That's a bad move.
And
So
before, I don't want you to lose your thought here. I just
you're
want
good.
to interject real quick on this. If you're not familiar with NBA rules, the NBA rules say like if there is a like hit that is above the head or below above the shoulders, I believe that's an automatic flagrant one or flagrant two. So the
Right.
the refs 100% got it right. No, so whether it's accidental, not accidental, like whatever it
Yeah.
is, it's automatic flagrant one, automatic flagrant two.
Took a
Like
shot to the head. Right.
right. And then the whole drama, like I think LeBron summed it up really well on like an interview afterwards. He's talking about like the whole drama of the situation, like he had to get ejected for that. And I feel that. I understand that. But do I think LeBron again did it on purpose, intentionally? I felt that he, in my personal opinion, it looked like, again, he was being pushed and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna let you just shove me." And
Right.
so I'm gonna push you back a little bit. And he happened to clip the guy. Um, and so the event, and sometimes things like that just happen, and that's part of basketball, right? And
Right.
so like, but for the average people that don't play sports, that's something that's kind of lost there, and you think it's kind of a malicious kind of action, and really it's just no, that's basketball.
Absolutely. So moving on now to another high school basketball situation. This one, of course, is much a little more, not a little, a lot more happy. This one's crazy. A Michigan high school basketball team accidentally called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they get this new player on their roster and they add his phone number to the group chat. They were one number off when they put it in, and they ended up calling the Buccaneers cornerback. I think it's like Murphy Bunting, something like that. That's his last name. It's hyphenated. I'll get the name for it here in a second. But these guys end up going on a FaceTime call with Gronks in it, Leonard Fournette, the GOAT, Tom Brady, like all these people, and they called the wrong number. Like, how cool is that? Can you imagine calling your friend and a Super Bowl team answers the phone?
Yeah,
What do you
that's dope.
say?
And I have a crazy story for that. So like when we were at the beginning of our kind of when we were still practicing over the summer, we had a group chat. Zach Eady was in it twice, and like, why is Zach in this? And what happened was transferred numbers. Like he'd gotten another number, and like I got old group, and so I guess there's a guy like texting us in our group chat. So why? Like I
And
this story. So it's this guy
we're losing you,
like
buddy. You're cutting out a little bit.
that.
Can you hear me?
You know,
Yeah. Your Wi. I'm looking at it right now. Your Wi-Fi signal's down just a little bit. Let's see, we're trying to work this out. We're good. I just want to make sure we get your whole story across here because this seems like a really good story, and we were missing part of it. If you want to, you can hop out and hop back in. There we go. All right, Trey's hopping out and hopping back in. Should be on really fast here. Yep, here we go. We already got him back. All right. So just start your story over real quick because I kept on missing pieces and parts of it, but then in the middle it really started cutting out. So go ahead. Zach Eady is in your group chat twice. There you go.
yes, Zach Eady is in our group chat twice. Honestly, guys, it may cut out here again. Sometimes I have to reset my personal hotspot here. If you don't, I'm in Indiana, and there's a bunch of cornfields here, and for some reason, cornfields and internet don't go well together.
Are you
Um,
sure about that?
yeah, I am positive. I'm
No,
positive. But
actually, I grew up. I never. I grew up without Wi-Fi. A lot of people always look at me funny when I say that. We never had Wi-Fi.
yeah,
So like I literally when I came down here to Florida, this was the first time I've ever like had Wi-Fi, and everybody always looks at me like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm telling you, like there was no Wi-Fi. Like hey, you can't change it." But anyways, okay, I promise now I'm done cutting you off.
no,
You
no,
go
you're
ahead with
good.
your story.
So no, so there's a basically the whole story is there's a random guy in our group chat. Almost the exact same situation except it's texting. But this guy we'd been sending out like I'm not gonna say plays, but we'd been like talking to each other in group chat. Like we've been having conversations, and I mean it's a team group
Right.
chat, and he'd been like I'm not gonna say replying, but like just throwing in comments and stuff. Like he's part of the team, but like this isn't Zach Eady. Like it's not Zach. It's somebody else.
Did you guys ever figure out who it was?
So we ended up calling him one day, and he answered. And so we are like, what's going on? And I think he got nervous or something. But we all thought it was funny. But it is interesting that like it's almost the exact same situation. Like
Right. Was he? I'd imagine Zach probably has a Canada zip code. Was it a Canadian guy? Was
yes,
he from Canada?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
so cool. That's awesome,
yeah. He
actually.
just happened to be in the group chat. Like
Did he know who you guys were? Like, was he a college basketball
I
fan?
don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would assume so. Like he would have to know because like
Right.
he's in a random group chat and people were talking about basketball. I'm assuming like
Was he responding with like actual
he's
basketball
responding.
info?
No, he wasn't responding with basketball things, but he, like I don't know. Like if we sent out like a video that we thought was funny or something, like he may comment or something on it.
All the people at IU right now are trying to hunt this guy down. They need those plays that were sent
They
over
need
this
those
group chat. They
plays
need
badly.
it. The
Need
rivalry
it.
game is coming.
Yes.
The rivalry game is coming. So they're gonna hunt this down and who this is.
For sure. But yeah,
But
so
yeah, I
it's the
just
same
thought it was
situation. Like that is dope for those kids that get to. And you said it was a basketball team.
yeah, it was a high school basketball team.
Yeah, even still, like I mean, you get to like what are the odds you get to FaceTime with obviously Tom Brady
Tom Brady.
and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like
It's crazy.
that's
It's
White Williams'
insane.
dream. Only if I was Aaron Rodgers.
Oh man, I don't even know what I would do. It'd be crazy. That's like one athlete that like if I could pick any athlete on earth right now to interview, it would be Trey Kopp. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I've already interviewed Trey. We've checked that one off the bucket list. If I could interview any athlete right now, it would be Aaron Rodgers. The only one that may be higher than Aaron would be LeBron, but Aaron is just so. I don't know if you listen to the Pat McAfee show. Aaron is so good at interviews and gives like the greatest and most detailed and wild answers ever. Like if you look the other day, he was getting it was a post game interview, and he just pulls out his foot and he puts his foot on the camera. Like, you seen those pictures?
Yeah, yeah.
Because he had some kind of a toe injury, and he pulls out his foot and just puts on like it's just crazy stuff like that. Like that'd be hilarious to get to watch. So
yeah.
if I could interview anybody, it'd be Aaron for sure. I think because
We'll
that
talk
just
about this. I think we're going to talk about it a little bit later with James Harden, and
actually let's just segue into it if you want.
we can. I was gonna kind of combine them, and what I mean by that is when you see somebody like Aaron Rodgers who's doing that is kind of getting to James because I'm trying to think who I would want to interview, and I think I'd interview Steph probably first. Steph,
That'd be a
maybe
really good
James
one.
Harden, maybe LeBron. I'm not a football guy, so I'll leave that
Sure.
aside.
Sure.
But you
I'll
see
I'll
guys
take
like
all of our football interviews on the court in the booth. You take all of our basketball ones. How about that?
right, exactly. And so like you see like
And we lost Trey just like that. Gone. I guess we've been having some technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi, so we are connecting him back right now. Back with us, man. Come on, we got like a little left of the show. You can't keep on leaving me like this. No, I'm just kidding. Uh-oh, I think we lost him again. Yeah, that Wi-Fi is really cutting out. I can see his Wi-Fi signals are down. But we were mentioning James Harden, and we can segue into that next. And this is a big question right now, and this actually kind of falls in LeBron's category as well. But we'll stick with James Harden. Is James Harden on a decline? Is his decline here to stay, or will he bounce back? And this is something we're going to get into in just a minute. But I'll start here. And I think it's a really interesting topic because this is something that we're seeing with a lot of athletes is a random weird decline this year. And Harden is one of those guys. I'm sure at some point he's going to figure this out and bounce back. He plays on a really good team too that gives a lot of reps to a lot of other players. So I think that that's going to fall into this as a big part. But he's good. He's a great player. He's an NBA All Star, and I think he has a real shot to be an NBA champion if he can get this out of this slump, I should say, and him and Kevin Durant get on the right path because when they're playing at the top of their game, they're both top 5 players in the NBA. So if you can get those two back on it, and if Kyrie ever comes back, that would help as well. That would help tremendously as well. And speaking of Kevin Durant, the other topic that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, Kevin Durant talking about how he asked the Thunder to draft Devin Booker, which is a really interesting topic. And we are getting Trey back right now.
We
There
should
we
be good,
go.
guys. Um,
There we go.
I'm not sure exactly what White said here, but um, I think we're on the line of basically what I was trying to explain was that these professional athletes have personalities that you can tell really influence the way that they play, but also like how good they are. Like Aaron Rodgers' ability to be that comfortable with himself to show his feet on camera to millions of people like a big deal to a lot of people, but that shows that he's 100% comfortable in who he is. And
Right.
so that kind of brings in this kind of self-confidence, like that, like if you're self-confident about that, like you're self-confident about your ability to play football, you're self-confident in other areas in life. So people don't understand how much that mindset affects their sport. And we're gonna, obviously we're gonna segue into James Harden here. And to me, like that's a point that I'm going to bring up here in a second, but just along the lines of how James Harden's personality is some one of his biggest gifts. But go ahead, Wyatt, and
Yeah, well, that's what. While
we'll talk
while
about
you
it.
were gone, I kind of jumped into talking about Harden for a second, and I gave my answer, which was, well, I'll ask you the question first, and I'll tell you what I said. The question is: James Harden decline? Is James Harden's decline? Bleh, losing English again. Is James Harden's decline here to stay, or do you think he will bounce back? And basically, the answer that I gave was James Harden is a great player, and he's on a team that takes up a lot of reps. There's a lot of other really good guys. And I think if James Harden can get this together, he's an all-star player whenever he plays at his peak. And I think that him and Kevin Durant could really put something special together. And if Kyrie returns, like I said earlier, that would really help. But yeah, we'll toss it to you now. Is the James Harden decline, is it here to stay or will he bounce back?
Is it here to stay or will it go away?
There you go.
Um, yeah. Um, for sure he will. He'll be fine. He'll be just fine. Again, so the point I was trying to make is his personality. Obviously, he has a bunch of off the court things that aren't, I guess, ideal for
Right.
every general manager and every team owner is looking for.
You talking
But
about the Paris issue with Lil Baby? Is that what you're talking about right now?
well, I mean, I'm talking about just kind of his off court kind of antics and his off court kind of I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying
He
to go
seems like a
for
little bit
here.
of a wild man off the court. Is that what you're trying
Yeah,
to get
he's
out
just
here?
a little bit of wild
Right.
man here.
A little bit of a wild man.
But what that does for you on the court, like he has the mindset of somebody who's going to be a really good player. Like a lot of really talented, you have to have a balance, and I think he really does have a good balance. Somebody he reminds me of, like somebody who didn't have a great balance and it hurt him was Johnny Manziel. I know I'm not a big football guy, but I can just tell. I can tell. His personality made him really, really good at football, in my opinion.
Yeah, that
Because you
was
have
that
to
was a big
have
thing.
you right, you have to have a certain type of personality, a certain type of risk, a certain type of, you know, edge to you to play that the way that he did. Like everything that he did was super instinctual and just kind of off the cuff, off the flow. And when you watch James Harden play, it's the same way. The difference between those two is like Johnny Manziel, like he didn't have a discipline about him as well. And
Right.
and James Harden, in my opinion, does. James Harden does have a discipline about him that
Sure.
he's
Kind
gonna
of like
continue
that
working
off
his
switch,
game.
like, hey, here's the time to mess around. Here's the time to be serious.
Right, exactly. And like I said, the great ones have both of those at a
Yeah.
high level. But you have to have both. You can't be somebody who's super disciplined but not having any fun and any instinctual. Trust me, I know. I'm a guy who's very uh, is that kind of super disciplined, like super and sometimes you have to remind yourself, no, you have to be instinctual, you have to go with your gut, you have to kind of go with the flow,
Stick your
and
head out there a little bit.
stick your head out there,
Right.
and that kind of thing. Like, you have to, if you don't play sports in that way, it's not gonna be, it's like obviously people compare sports to jazz or dancing. Like, if you're thinking about what you're doing by dancing, like, have you ever tried to walk, like thinking about how to walk perfectly, like each step and
You always,
each,
yeah, you always mess
lifting
up.
your heel and lifting your foot and then moving, like, you can't
Right.
walk like that. Like, you end up walking weird and like kind of
Yeah.
stumbling. Like, when you walk, you just walk. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you dance, you just dance. When you do certain things, you just do them and you don't think about them, right? And so people that, like I said, bringing this full circle here, um, that's James Harden has a really good way of kind of being what it is. It's being present in the moment and being instinctual and being like with himself. Um, so I think because of that combination, he's going to be a really good basketball player. Obviously, what you talked about, there's some, he's going to have to change a little bit of what he does because of the way that the game's going to is being called and stuff like that. But he's a great basketball player. Like, the thing about great players is they're gonna figure it out. You know what I mean?
They're going to be
It's
great.
not a right. They're gonna be great.
Great
Doesn't matter
players are
what
going to be
system, they're
great.
gonna be great players. So
Right. Absolutely. So as we lead into our final topic before we come back and close it out with Would You Rather, Kevin Durant announced as he got asked about how or what he feels on Devin Booker, how great of a player that he's really developed into and all that. And Kevin Durant says that he asked the Thunder to draft Devin Booker. And I was looking at that. And from a guy who loves stats and analysis, all that stuff, think about that starting five. You would have had
okay,
Russ, prime Russ, if of course all the pieces stayed. You'd have prime Russ at the point. You would have either Harden or Booker at the shooting guard and small forward. You could put those in whatever order. Personally, I would have put Booker at the shooting guard and I would have put Harden at the three. But that's, of course, I'm not an NBA coach, so I don't make that decision. And then at the four, you would have had arguably the greatest scorer ever, Kevin Durant. And then at the five, you have Serge Ibaka, who in his time and still now is a very good basketball player. But in his time with the Thunder, he was incredible down low. So would that starting five, do you think, would they have beat LeBron's Miami Heat, the big three?
That's tough. That's really tough. I mean, the Heat were a good team. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard.
They were an incredible team.
Um, you know, like I said, it's just so tough because it's like, would James Harden develop into the player that he is, if he didn't leave the Thunder, right? Would Westbrook
Probably
be the
not.
player that he is if Kevin Durant didn't leave the Thunder? You know
Probably
what I
not.
mean? Like, so there's so many
Kevin probably wouldn't be who he is without leaving.
without leaving.
He
So
definitely wouldn't be. He'd be, what, 2 rings short?
right, right, and so there's so many things that that are different, and you can't really pop in. That's why it's the same thing with comparing like generations. Like, you can't put Michael Jordan in today's game. You can't put Steph in the '60s. Like,
Right.
you can't do those things. I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to say who would win, but it is I mean, it is crazy that Kevin Durant obviously wanted Devin Booker to
It's
draft
awesome,
Devin
isn't it? It's
Booker.
wild.
So I mean, on paper
Absolutely.
that
That
seems
is,
amazing.
yeah. Well, that is how we will close off our discussion. And when we come back, we will have Would You Rather. Before we send the episode out, it's been a great episode so far. We will see you in 60 seconds. And welcome back in. We have just crossed the hour mark of episode 4 of the On the Court in the Booth podcast. And I've got to bring it back up now because it's that time where we get our quote of the day. Don't blame the player. Blame the game.
Cheat the game.
Cheat the game.
Yeah, cheat the
Beautiful. That's poetic. That's what that is.
game. What
Absolutely
was poetic
poetic.
was Wyatt Williams at our 60-second break here, sprinting out of his chair to the restroom, or I don't know where he was
Dude,
going.
okay, TMI on this, dude. I have had to pee for the last 45 minutes. And I was like, I can't hold it anymore.
This
Like,
guy
as soon as
was
we send this to
running.
break, I am bolting. And you know what? Usain bolted to the restroom. We got back in time, though, clearly. We're here. So we have got what is my favorite part of the show always. Our last 30 minutes, we like to close it off with fun. We like to always have a Q&A, would you rather, something of that sort, which we got to put that Q&A thing back up on our story because we're officially out of questions. That's why we're not doing Q&A today.
Yeah.
We've got Would You Rather, but don't fear. We've got incredible content on this Would You Rather. Last week when we did Would You Rather, we talked about mullet or ponytail, which was an instant classic on that. But our first Would You Rather today, Trey, is would you rather be in jail for a year or lose a year of your life? So I guess either take it off of the end, take a year off of the end, or I guess you sleep through a year.
Right.
I don't know. We'll just say take it off the end. How about that?
Right. So I actually plan to, when I die, I am going to freeze my body and preserve it, so I will actually live forever. So I'm actually not going to die. So I'll take
There
the
you go.
year off because I'm going to live forever anyway.
Are you
No.
actually? Or do you actually want to
No, I'm not
cryogenically
going
freeze
to do
yourself?
that. No.
Okay.
No. But yeah, I'd still probably take that option though because I don't know, just a year in jail is not a good time. So I don't.
That's true.
Why would I spend a year of doing not good things when I could just have less a year?
That's true.
Like I feel
I
like
don't
if
know
I'm
though,
in
man. I
jail,
just feel
I'm
like
depressed. Like it's not the jail you see in like Monopoly or something.
right.
This is
No,
this is
absolutely,
real
yeah.
life here.
We'll say
And I'm not
yeah.
talking about Alcatraz, but I'm talking about like I don't want to go to jail. Why would you want to go
Right.
to jail?
I am. They give us crap a lot, man, about us agreeing too much. But you know what? I gotta disagree with you on this one. I think I'd rather get the not that I want to go to jail, but I think I'd rather take that experience of what jail for a year feels like. Just to I don't know, because I've always thought there's no way. That's why I can't be a criminal because there's no way I could sit in jail. I already get so bored as is. I already get so bored as is with Netflix, with YouTube, with social media, with everything that's on. Take it all away.
See,
I mean,
with you though. I disagree with
okay.
that because like I feel that for
You
me
like to step away from social media though. You're not a big social guy.
Yeah, so the quarantine, like people always talk about like I hated quarantine. I loved quarantine. I bet
you did. I bet you did.
I
bet you did.
Yeah,
That's you definitely
thing, isn't it?
you definitely
Yeah.
loved quarantine. That just
like,
makes
and so I had some, some things that unfortunately went wrong during quarantine. But like if we were just talking about that break that we got, like that was perfect for me. I loved it because you get to focus on the
the
things
entire
you really
world
yeah.
for life will explain it as like the end of the world for 9 months or a year or whatever it was. That's how we'll explain it. Trey's like, that was the best 9 months of my life.
Dude, it was great. Like, I mean,
He's like,
because you got to like, obviously, like I got to focus on what I needed to do to get better as a player, as a basketball player, as a like. I'm just trying to think of all the things that you could do. You could meditate more habitually. You could, obviously, for me, like I said, basketball. So like, I could work out when I wanted. I could lay out a plan and follow that plan. and figure out what I want to do every single day. Like,
Right.
you had no reason. You didn't have school. Come on, now. We didn't do school. We didn't have school. Like,
Dude, the
it was free
worst.
time. It was free time to do whatever you wanted, and there was
It
no
was.
like you didn't
It was
feel
like
bad for not doing stuff because no one was doing anything.
right. The worst mistake that and I won't say any names, but someone in the higher up in the school that I was going to, not Jeff, before I went to Jeff at the other school, one of the higher ups, I won't mention any names, said to all of the students that that everybody is going to pass for this year, no matter what happens, and you've just got to turn in your work. That's it. Everybody's going to pass and everything. So when he said that, nobody's going to do work. If you guarantee we're going to pass, what? You know what I mean? Like, it's so that was the problem that they had, was like everybody heard him say that, and they were like, oh, well, I just won't do anything. Like, you had like 90% of the school wasn't tuning into their Zooms, all this stuff. Several of my teachers started
Kids, do your
just not
homework.
having Zooms anymore. They started just doing like do what?
I said, kids, do your homework.
Right.
Follow school. Don't follow these. Don't follow these principles.
Right.
But yes, exactly.
So yeah, that was a big problem that they had. But yeah, I think I would take the jail time on it. But our next would you rather is, and I don't know, are we going with a jail theme here? I'm reading my stuff that I put together here, and I guess I went with the jail theme. Would you rather get one get out of jail free card or a key that opens any door?
For sure, a key that opens any door. Because I don't plan on going to jail. So that one's easy for me. Also, like,
I'll have to agree with you on this one, sadly. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, boo.
boo, yeah.
Of course, they always agree. They always agree.
Like, why would I want to go? Why would I want to go to jail just so I can get out for free?
It's true.
Like, it's just such a dumb. But if you had a get out of jail free card, what would you do? Would you try to rob a bank?
No, because I just like, I've got too big of a heart to do something like that.
You couldn't. Like, yes, obviously not. But like,
I don't know. I feel like something.
You're playing GTA 5. You're playing Grand Theft Auto, and you have a get out of jail free card. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Robbing a bank. Probably robbing a bank.
Right. Like obviously, like in real life, like, yeah, like no one's gonna rob a bank.
I don't know. I think I'd do something like, and I'm not trying to say this for future reference at all. I think I'd do something like money laundering or something like that. Like, where you take from the rich. You know what I mean? Like, because I would just like, if I right. Like, I would feel so bad if I robbed a bank and some poor 9-to-5 worker is sitting there like, I'm not paid enough to deal with this stuff. So like, I would just feel bad robbing a bank, not just for the fact that you're robbing a bank, because first off, that I would feel bad about that, but for the people, like, you know how many people you'd have to hold up their day, and that would be a scary situation. I mean, like, put yourself in those shoes for a second.
You're 100% right. I mean, there's nothing that I could do. That's why I have to keep on referencing like Grand Theft Auto, because like, I'm not the type of person who'd want to do anything that would even come remotely close to putting me in jail. So it's like, yeah, I mean, money laundering, that's a pretty good one.
Plus, think about it, like the key that opens any door. Like,
what benefits does that give you? What door are you wanting to open? That's the thing. Like, I don't find any benefits to the get out of jail free, so I'm like, why would I not just take a key? But I don't know what key is going to help.
Well, but think about it, that you could have the keys to Disney World, so at night you could go in and hang out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
times I'm going to walk to Disney World without my license.
It's a little different, okay? It's a little different with you, me.
Yeah. All the times I'm going to break into Disney World. Well, then you need the get out of jail free card to get out of there.
That's what get out of jail free card I need. I'd break into Disney at night.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We figured it out.
Fellow student Wyatt Williams goes to jail for breaking into Disney World.
Dude, there's something where it's like you see it. One of the Purdue pages. Couldn't get out of there in time. That's awesome. And then our third would you rather question, and this one I think was probably my favorite. This one's very interesting and is going to require a lot of thought from me. You probably not so much because I know you don't have your license. Would you rather all traffic lights be green for the rest of your life or never wait in a line again?
Um, I don't know.
What you think?
That's a tough one because I
See what I
feel
mean?
like
It's
I have
tough.
to hitch rides places.
That's true. I just see. I think my answer would have been different when I lived in Indiana because the lights down here are timed. So if you get caught at a red light down here, you're waiting 5 minutes. Like without a doubt, 100%, you're sitting there for a long time. And that gets so annoying a
Yeah.
lot and very fast. So I mean, it'd be cool to not wait in line ever again, but it's already like I don't really get that annoyed by lines a lot. So, oh, but think about it. You could go to any theme park and never have to wait in line again.
I don't like roller coasters. So,
Gosh,
yeah, doesn't affect me.
you like nothing
Now
fun.
the burger lines and
There,
yeah
that's what
the
it is.
restaurant lines. Now
Trey's
that
like
on the other hand,
the line at the bookstore. That thing gets so annoying sometimes.
yes, it's just like packed sometimes. I mean, people can't talk, but they can definitely walk. It's like get out of the way. Um, yeah. So
I would,
I think I have to
I
go with lines.
see, like if I lived in Indiana, I would say lines as well. But now that I've lived down here, I understand what waiting at a traffic light like that is, and I hope I never waited on a traffic light again. I mean, of course, I can't get that, but I wish. But yeah, I would choose that one. Okay, and our fourth one here. Would you rather? Oh, this one might be better than the last. Would you rather discover a planet or discover the cure to a disease?
Okay, so this one was my favorite one.
It's a very
I
philosophical question.
I would rather. I don't know. This is tough, and I'll tell you why it's tough. I'm not a well. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but do I like thinking about them? Of course. Of
Sure,
course I like thinking about conspiracy theories.
we all do.
Yeah, we all
The
do.
cube. That's
The
not really
cube.
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's just
So
reality.
yeah,
Um, I think that like I do like what are the chances that we have cures for um like cancer already? But because of our overpopulation problem, we don't give it out.
right. And I think
I've
that's
thought about that a
something
lot.
that's
I mean, that's a really controversial. I mean, obviously controversial, but like a really dark thing to say and have. But it's like, I mean,
I definitely think that
as a
there's,
conspiracy theory, I've definitely thought about that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that kind of piggybacking off what you said there. There's a lot of I'll just say coincidences in history where like there was a guy who invented a car that would run on water. And then like the next week he died of a heart attack or something. There's like all those conspiracy theories that you see all over the place. And honestly, I wouldn't really be surprised if that was the case. But at the same time, man, that would be so messed up. I mean, can you imagine? That'd be crazy. So
For sure.
as for the question from a whole, but at the same time, discovering a planet, like that'd be cool. And I'm talking about
That'd
like
be.
you walk on the planet too. Like you get to like
Oh, okay. That's different. I thought you meant just like discovering that one exists.
no, like you discover a habitable planet and you get to like go and look at it to
Okay,
see if it's habitable.
that's another good question. If you paid me $3 million, I would not go to outer space right now.
What?
There's no shot. There's zero chance I will go in a spaceship and leave this planet? 0.
No way. You wouldn't want
100%.
to?
Why?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if I
One
had
of
the
the
money or if the
scariest
opportunity,
things, one of the scariest things, in my opinion, in the world is looking up at the sun or the
I
moon.
love it.
That's the
love it.
scariest thing. One of the scariest things. That's not like, yeah, I mean, obviously there's some more like, it's kind of like, some people are scared of ghosts or whatever, when it show like things that like they're scary, but they're not like real life stuff. Obviously the
Right.
sun, but like, you know what I mean by that. And so like that's my version of that. Like some people are scared of spiders, but they're not like, and some people are deathly, but like a lot of people are scared of spiders, but they're not like, that's not like the number one thing they're scared of or something.
Sure.
So for me, that is looking up at like the stars and the sun.
What is so scary and / intimidating about it?
You are so small.
Yeah.
You are
See,
so
I
small
like
compared to
that
those things,
feeling.
and you don't
It's humbling.
know. It's a feeling of not knowing. It's a feeling of not knowing, like most of the ocean, we don't know what's there.
We
You know what I
discovered
mean?
5% of our world
5%.
oceans.
5%.
That's it.
And
There's 95% still left untouched.
that's scary to me. That's scary to me.
That's
Like it's that simple. That's scary to me.
this. See,
So
I go ahead.
I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave Earth's atmosphere and see like Earth is like a all
As
the
a
flat earthers out there
as a dot. Right.
as a sphere,
As a circle. Yeah.
What's it called? An oblate spheroid, I think is the technical term.
Something like
but
that.
a sphere.
A rock.
Yeah,
A giant rock.
boulder, in this in the galaxy, like and then all you see is just like darkness, and then like you're going to another planet. Like that's just the scariest feeling ever to me. That would be awful.
Really?
I would have a heart attack at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's something I've always wanted. Like, if the opportunity presented itself, or if I had enough money to do it, I would totally go to space. Totally.
See, what I'm
Like,
saying is,
not a
like, you
second
couldn't
thought.
pay me enough to go to space, and you do it for free.
Yeah.
Like if somebody
100%.
gave me $10 million,
No,
I would
I'd
not go to
pay.
space.
I'd pay. I'd pay
That's
to
what I
do
mean.
it.
Like if somebody paid me $10 million, I would not go to space.
There's zero money amount you would take for it.
0.
Like a billion with a B. No, a trillion. Nobody's ever been a trillionaire before. You would turn down being the first ever trillionaire
Yep.
to go to space.
I would.
I would hate you for life if you did that. If you did that, I'd be so mad at you, Trey. That's such a bad
It's fine.
financial decision. That's such a bad
fine.
financial decision.
Yeah, but like if you're dead, money doesn't matter.
Well, you got to take it there. Jeez.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna have a heart attack and die, that's another quote of the day. We're just filling it up. But
If
like,
you're gonna have a heart
money doesn't
attack and
matter.
die, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it. No amount of money can save your life.
Imagine if you did go up, okay, and you get out there and you saw that Earth was flat, or it was something odd, like it was a square or something, that we don't know. And they tell you like, hey, you can never tell anyone this ever. Like you got to sign like
here we
documents
go.
of secrecy, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine that. You know how crazy that would be? Like you
Well,
get up there.
Then you're in the cure for cancer territory. Like you're like
This all goes back. It all circles around, basically.
It all circles around, but it's a cube, not a circle. I actually had this is random, but
Here we go.
Yes. Here we go.
Yes.
I would actually make fun of like I would make this kid in my the school. I say he's a kid. He's a friend of mine. I'd make him mad because I'd say the Earth was a banana. And so there's this whole thing. Like if you go online right now, there's a thing called Banana Earth. And so and then I would make things up like, it revolves around the sun because the banana is kind of like a boomerang, and that's how the physics of it kind of revolving and how it comes around. That's why it's able to continuously revolve around. But it also works with, you got the north and south pole of the banana, and how,
Right.
that's how Santa Claus can like fly because he's using the magnetism of, the north and the south pole, and
Right.
the peel is actually Earth's crust. And so I would say
The
all of
peel
these
is
like
Earth's
things,
crust.
and like think about all the other fruits in the bowl. Like that's why all the other things that you see in the solar system are round, because most other fruits are round. I mean, think about a grape, um, you orange, all the other round fruits, um,
Apples,
apples. But yeah, everything else is
cantaloupe,
kind of cantaloupe, watermelon, like
pineapple.
yeah, all the other round
What?
things. Yeah,
Did you hear what I said? I said pineapple.
pineapple.
What?
Yeah, yeah. Hold on.
You like pineapples? Seriously. On
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
for real note, real quick. Not trying to go off topic. Have
Yeah,
you ever had
pineapple.
grilled pineapple?
Yeah, I actually have. It's fine.
Do you like it?
It's okay. It's fine.
It changed my life. Genuinely, it changed my
Okay,
life.
now we're back up a little bit now.
Now we're getting
It's
out
kinda
there.
different. Yeah, now
It
you're
is
different.
so, dude. It is so good. I
Yeah,
love
now
it.
you're a
It
menace.
is. Now I'm a
Now,
menace. Now I'm a
yeah.
menace to
Now
society.
you need to get out of jail free card. Like
Now
now you
there it
really
is.
need that.
That's what I needed.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It
All
changed
right,
your
so
life.
exactly our
So what's your
final. Would
answer?
you rather?
You haven't said your answer. Mine is I guess I'm still gonna
Okay.
go for the cure. I guess I'm gonna go for the cure, because why would you not want a cure for some deadly illness?
Oh man, you're gonna make me feel like a bad person
Even
when
if
I
I had to
answer the
die
other
for it, think
way.
about all the people that I would save.
Yeah, but imagine if they imagine if you invented the cure for cancer and like the Illuminati shows up at your door and kills you, and then like they don't let your plan get out, so you just in the end died for nothing. Ultimately, like the
I mean,
space
what is
situation.
that?
See what I mean? See what I mean? It all
What is
comes
that though?
circling around,
But what is that? Like that's just such a specific circumstance. What if an asteroid comes out of the air and kills you right now?
right?
Like if that happens, like shake the asteroid's hand. Like you know what I mean? Like good for you. Good for you. Like
Just like this,
that
your
was
hand
gonna
out
happen.
as it.
Yeah, good for you, asteroid. You got me.
I would. I'd. That's so tough. I'd discover another planet. Cure, discovering the cure to a disease would be incredible, and it would be
You
awesome.
heard it first. Wyatt doesn't care about Wyatt doesn't care about
There it
anything
is.
to
Yeah,
do with
just
diseases.
just drop it on him. Why he doesn't
Yeah.
care about earthly diseases?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
If you're
yeah, that's
sick,
true.
like Wyatt doesn't care about you. Christmas spirit, eh?
It's the mental toughness, man. Sickness
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
Don
You should
Shampoo.
look at those old, look at
Get
those
tougher.
older NBA
Get
players.
tougher. Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, they
Everybody
used
with
to
COVID
take
right now, get tougher. Like
seriously.
get over it. It's your fault.
That's
Like
so horrible. We
God.
cannot say this. No, you know that though, right? Did you know that they used to take sledgehammers to Michael when he would drive inside the
Oh yeah,
Pistons
for
with?
sure.
Did you know
For
that?
sure.
Like
For
big
sure.
hammers and everything.
Steel chairs. It's like WWE,
Yeah.
really.
It was
Like
basically like there was a chain. There was one time that there was a chainsaw and it missed him, and they realized that was a little too far,
Yeah.
but so they reeled it back to just sledgehammers only.
Yeah. So what they so what they
That's
did
why
was
Michael was bald. He got hit in the head one time with a sledgehammer, and he just never could
Yeah.
grow hair again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
happened.
I actually heard the story that somebody chained his hair off. So
Oh.
his hair off. Like,
Yes, that's
like the perfect
that's
cut. Did I tell you
that probably
okay, so
happened too.
on a real note here, Wyatt. It was after the Florida State game. We went back. We went to my grandparents came up, and we went to a hotel, and there was an older gentleman, and he was talking about he knew I played for obviously Purdue, and he was talking about how he watched Terry Dissinger play. He's an old Purdue basketball player,
Sure.
and he was talking about how one game Terry Dissinger broke his arm, and he was right-handed, and so according to the guy, the next game He played with his left hand and shot it left-handed. And it took him 3 games, and he could shoot just as well with his left hand.
It's like,
What do you say to that? What do you say to that? What like
thank you.
sometimes yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. People like when somebody tells you something like that, like I don't know, like what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Do you need a hug? Like do you need a high five? Do you need money to get over a crisis that's in your life? Like stop saying that. You're lying. You're lying. You made
Sorry.
a bold-faced lie.
Like,
And some people actually
like,
believe in themselves.
I just, right. There's
it's
never
it's
been
their
a basketball
reality.
player
Like
to
they made the
shatter his
reality,
arm and then
now they're
play.
believing it.
Right. There's never been a player to, of my knowledge, there's never been a player to shatter shatter his arm,
But that's not the
and
kicker.
continue to
He shot
play
left-handed, but guess what? It took him 3 games, and he could shoot just
to be
as well
just
with
as
his
good.
left hand
Yeah.
than his right hand. I need to find this Terry guy because, like, if I can shoot both hands in 3 games, that'd be great. Imagine come off a screen shooting left-handed. Like, where did that come from? I mean, Ben Simmons can't shoot with either hand. I mean, this guy could switch it up. Imagine that. He needs to find Terry Dissinger. That's who Ben Simmons needs. Terry Dissinger.
It's like a switch hitter. Like you go
Yeah,
up
it's
with
a
the ball
switch hitter. That's
here.
right.
You go up
Yeah.
with the ball here. They go to block it. You just rotate it and then just
See,
go
it's
go
all
through.
in the wrist. It's all in the wrist.
It's all you get in the air and you can decide at any point where the ball is, which hand is gonna release it. You gotta.
That's what Jordan used to do. Like he'd go fade this way, and then he'd spin around and shoot it with his other hand.
That's like I'm not trying to take anything away from Michael too when I say that stuff because he's genuinely. I mean, he was incredible. It's just like I find it so crazy.
Yeah.
The stories that you hear. Like, I'm sorry, but no, they weren't. They weren't like they weren't taking sledgehammers to that guy when he ran down the lane. I just didn't. It never happened. Like nobody ever like just they act like they. Don Shampoo is a great analysis of it, and I loved that. If Abstract Shine comes back to social media, which now of course he took off, I would love that because his content was so accurate and so good. Because it's just like
it was great.
Oh man,
I'm happy to say that like I may take up that where Abstract Shine left off. I may take that up.
You should.
My teammates and coaches have started calling me Don Shampoo.
I've got Abstract Shine's contact. I will give it to you to text him and say, hey man, can we work something out where I become the new Don Shampoo? I would help you with that 100%. I got to interview him one night, and you remember that. He was an awesome interview. He's hilarious. Yeah. That guy, he's a comedian that's like practicing, and he would make these videos about how people explain 90s basketball. And it was just like the best one that he had. And he used Don Shampoo as this fictional character. And he was like, Don was running down the lane one day and somebody just pulled out a 9mm, pop, and shot him twice. And he made the layup and got back up and shot the free throw and hit it still. It was just crazy. Like nobody had ever seen it before. And it's so accurate to the way that people explain stuff. I hate that. Like I'm all for the legend tales and all that stuff. Believe me, I'm all ears on those. But when you tell me that this guy was there's a reason why. Right. There's a reason why boxing and we'll just say all fighting sports aren't a 3-hour long game because you can't take that many punches to the head. You just can't. You'll go brain dead. It's a scientific thing. Mm-hmm. So when people are like, yeah, he was taking 30 punches a game to the head and then landed on his head and neck. Like, no, I'm sorry. There's not a human that could do that. It is physically impossible unless if you have got like a metal skull. Unless if you've got a metal skull, then I'm sorry. I don't see it happening. But we got to get back on topic here for our last question. And the last question is, would you rather dance every time that you hear music or sing every time that you hear a song? So how are you going to embarrass yourself? You're going to dance, you're going to sing. Which one?
Is that what we're... I don't know why I'm so far from the microphone. Like, they're not going to hear me from 30 feet away, Trey. Dance or sing. So is that what we're looking at here? Like, how are we going to embarrass ourselves? Or are we looking at more of, like...
No, I was just using a figure of speech. But I'm just saying, if, let's say, every single time for the rest of your life that a song is played, you've either got to dance to it or you've got to sing to it. And you'll know the words, of course. You're going to sing. Are you a good singer?
No, I'm not at all.
I'm a horrible singer, too.
I'm possibly an even worse dancer. And
see, I fall in the same book.
Yeah. So, if you look at us on Tinder, we do not have dancing or singing as one of our talents. So.
Right. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I can't do. I can
Tinder's
talk about sports. Huh?
Tinder not a sponsor.
No, not yet. But I have to agree with you because my dancing is. I agree with you. I think quite possibly is better or worse than my singing. So we'll take the lesser of the two evils here, and we'll go with singing.
And guys, that is a low bar too. We are talking about all-time lows in bars.
Yeah.
As far as how bad because my singing is horrible, but my dancing.
Give us a sample real quick. Sing us a song. Let's hear it.
Yeah, no, not gonna happen. But if
you say it's horribler.
Horribler. Yeah. So.
Awesome, man. So that is, like I said, I'm gonna choose sing on that one.
Is that just me, or that's just the?
Oh, the blue light.
Yeah,
on the mic. Uh-oh. Is it flashing?
No, it's.
What is that?
Rotating my mic.
Oh, I thought it was like flashing.
Yeah.
All right, man. Episode 4 in the books.
In the books. Guys.
And we got to bring it back up here. It's our quote of the day. Don't blame the player. Blame the game. Cheat the game. That's poetic justice. I genuinely don't think that you can end off episode 4 in a better fashion than that. It means everything to me. I mean, like,
47.
everything. The
answer to the
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. That's right.
You know what's funnier than 24? 25.
That's right. That's right, guys.
Yeah, at 47. That's how we'll close it off, man. I love it. It was a great episode. Be sure to join us next week as we get closer to Christmas, man. It's going to be a great holiday season. We're all going to have a lot of fun. Get to see the family and stuff. And leave a comment below for Q&A. Big time.
Ready? Oh, I can't do it. How do you?
What is it? What are we doing?
I'm
just pointing. Oh. Nope.
There it is.
That way.
Leave a comment, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's go. Leave a comment below for Q&A. That took a long time. That
was very difficult.
That took us way too long to figure that out.
And follow us on Instagram.
Yes. And we're adding a Facebook account too. So this episode or the next will be posted to Facebook. I will keep everybody updated on that. But yeah, absolutely. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. And never, and I do mean never.
This is
what?
I'm Trey Kaufman-Wren. This is
B. Wyatt Williams.
All right.
And be sure to remember, it's Chester's, not Cheetos. We will see you all next week on the Court in the Boot. Peace out.